Disclaimer, this video is not meant to start drama. I have no hate for anyone at Glitch. All of my problems are purely business based, and honestly, I don't think the founders, Luke and Kevin, are the ones making these decisions. Like most companies, I would say the higher-ups are the ones pressuring them into doing this stuff, but I'm not trying to blame anyone, although it's most likely the management causing this. Also, I have no intentions of changing anything with this video, just wanted to get my opinions out. Don't harass anyone, and please be respectful. Don't hate me for this. And don't think just because the company sucks, the shows do too. You can enjoy them while still acknowledging that. I know Digital Circus is good, but I don't want to watch it because Glitch sucks. Also, it's been completely ruined in my eyes through irony poisoning. Seriously though, if you can look past Glitch's problems and still enjoy their shows, more power to you. Also, this video isn't going to be too serious, although I do believe all that's stated within it, and I'll try to be as respectful as I can. As well as that, I'm a minor. Please be respectful to me also. Thank you. The day was September 22nd, 2024. After a leak of Digital Circus being on Netflix that everyone thought was fake because it looked like some Dandy's World and Cartoon Network bullshit, it actually happened to come true. I've known about Glitch for a while. They've almost always been a background element in my life. I knew SMG4, Metarunner, Murder Drones, but I never watched it. Digital Circus though, that was different. You see, I'm an object show fucker. I love object shows. I saw the teaser from Kevin Timmer animating it, and I was hooked. You see, there's this object show I like, One by Cheesy HFJ, which has a pretty similar plot. 6 people get mysteriously teleported to an unescapable, eerie place ruled by an unintentionally malicious host, with both having themes of insanity. I was excited to watch it, so I did as it premiered. Within the next 6 months, I stopped watching. I just got tired of it. One day, I just saw episode 2 was coming out and said, not today. I don't know, man, this thumbnail just looks like some YouTube kids garbage. Then they revealed that they would have merch at Hot Topic. That's not indie. I don't know, it's just by having merch there, you're on the same level as all the other media Hot Topic partners with. It's not indie. On top of that, who would buy this? Even if it has 400 million views, it's still niche. It's internet shit. And if you're buying that, why would you want one of these characters displayed across your torso? It's not even a cool design, it's just the character. It's dumb internet shit. Why wouldn't you buy it online? Plus, the designs will either have people ask unavoidable questions or turn everyone who knows into this. Well, how would I improve it? Scott the Wild's merch designs are a perfect example of not drawing too much attention, being a normal shirt, and also being a reference, and they're like that because Scott has that in mind when making them.
Those are mainstays. Okay, listen, I know. Games on a Shelf. It was from the Game Stores video from like 3 years ago, and Alpha JavaScript wasn't even from a Scott the Woz episode. It was just from a skit that was posted in 2016. I don't care. They make sense as shirts. I like having them as shirts. They are shirts you can wear in public and people won't question you. Just like the speed dating for the Cure design.
They're normal shirts, not flashy, not questionable. Also, Digital Circus and later Murder Drones and Gaslight District's shirts and other merch being at Hot Topic. Yeah, Hot Topic's pretty cringe, but that's not my main problem with it. It's that they sell VTuber merch. If you're buying one of these, just hand yourself in at that point. Whatever. The Hot Topic thing doesn't matter that much. What really killed my interest in Digital Circus was the Netflix deal. God, the Netflix deal. First of all, that's not indie. This was 100% a licensing thing. Netflix paid them to license it onto their platform. They're being directly funded, and yet they still call what they do indie. It's not like some Cobra Kai thing, which a lot of people don't know was originally a YouTube Red show, but moved to Netflix after it was revived by them, or being Puppy Cat, neither of which were the same thing on YouTube and Netflix. Digital Circus is free on YouTube, which you can watch on your TV. It's pointless. They didn't need to do this. Did they do it to get more recognized? They had 350 million views at this point. What, did they not feel like a real animation studio? You're indie for God's sake. The only answer for this is money. That's the only reason that makes sense. Sure, Glitch kept creative control from the deal, but they still got money from it. If you're a part of a company's platform that's not indie, I sincerely only think that Netflix put this on their platform because Gen Z and Alpha overwhelmingly prefer YouTube videos to Netflix shows. It makes sense. YouTube is more individual made, easier to view, and real. Most content on YouTube is personal stuff like reviews, vlogs, and essays with not as much narrative content compared to Netflix. It just requires less attention, and that's why I, and probably many others, consider it more fun. I only use Netflix for like 3 things and Disney Plus for 2. It would be 3 for that as well, but I own the Bob's Burgers movie on Blu-ray. God, I am severely misusing my benefits of not paying for something I only have because someone else uses it. Netflix clearly put Digital Circus on their platform because they saw it was popular with the newer generations and needed something to draw in viewers and distract from their high price. And Glitch agreed to it! Another reason why I think it's objectively worse is that there has been a 4-month gap since episode 5 was released on YouTube. Episodes 5 and 6 still haven't been added. There was an update recently about how episodes 5 and 6 will be added when episode 7 comes out in 2 months. Imagine waiting 6 months for 3 episodes of a show. The reasoning for this is apparently that Netflix viewers prefer batches.
He found out that people just prefer watching things in batches over on Netflix. Makes sense.
Hey, Digital Circus Netflix viewers, you can actually watch new episodes early by going to YouTube to watch it for free. The episode drops aren't even going to be even. They're going to drop episode 8 and 9 as a pair going off of this, when they'd be better off releasing 5 and 6 earlier to make a final release of 7, 8, and 9 to give more episodes. Also, this show doesn't work on Netflix. You're having one season that's not complete yet, and when it's done, it's going to have 9 episodes, and that's just not what Netflix does. Like, sure, it's not an original for them, but it's still being made while being licensed. At least when they made Murder Drones available to stream on Prime, that was complete, although all the other problems still apply. The last reason I think Digital Circus just doesn't work on streaming is because it is made for the internet. It is meant to spark so much discussion and has so many little Easter eggs. Like, seriously, do you think a normal Netflix viewer is gonna get the Pizza Tower and Gummy Elephant reference? Oh, also this. I don't think anyone who's not chronically online is gonna get this. On top of that, Gooseworks has only worked on internet stuff. Netflix hosting Digital Circus hasn't just caused a lack of communication and a hiatus, they also leaked the show being on Netflix to begin with, and also episode 4's release date. That's not good. Also, Netflix just blatantly does not care about its creators. They're basically the originators of slop because they put out like 100 shows every year and cancel most of them. They've also just put so many shows in a purgatory state, not renewing or canceling them, including They also ended Inside Job on a cliffhanger without warning, recently said theaters were outdated, and then put K-pop Demon Hunters in them, made 20 interactive shows and movies, lost media by removing all of them, which were majority animated content, and laid off a third of their animation department, and Glitch has still stuck with them. They also used AI for VFX, which is basically animation, and Glitch is against AI. Look, they say they care about animation and indie artists, but then they do the fucking opposite. I really can't trust them. I think Netflix asked for Digital Circus because they don't care about their animation. They needed a replacement they wouldn't have to put any work into. You caused this glitch. Even worse, a Glitch manager literally said Digital Circus wouldn't be on Netflix, saying Glitch believed strongly in YouTube for long-form animation, and that it was the best way forward because of cancellations and disrespect within mainstream animation. So how did that turn out? Now, because of this, every streaming service is now trying to put YouTube shit on their platform, and it's still pointless. Seriously, Glitch's alleged worst enemy, Disney, which I'm only saying alleged because yes, they approved Knights of Guinevere, but they didn't create it, is also putting YouTube videos on streaming. You're feeding your enemies. Good job, Glitch. Another thing I hate about Glitch Productions is these damn merch videos. They pump these out so often, most commonly after an episode, and my god, it just feels like begging for money. It's like a cycle: trailer, video, merch ad. Sometimes it's not even just a week after an episode releases, it's just because they had nothing else to put out. Then don't! Also, they're just unlisting videos now, and it's like, people still put work into them. Why delete it? They're the same quality. Also, side note, I hate how YouTube merch is. They always have to be limited time and expensive as hell. Also, the fuck is some of this merch? Officially licensed Vor plush and Femboy socks. That's not even mentioning these shady blind boxes and now signed posters that cost extra and are limited edition despite not being signed. You know you fucked up when the bootleg plushies are more accurate than the official ones. Also, I still don't get why selling a certain amount of merch is the qualifier for a series getting greenlit. Why would you buy merch of something that's not guaranteed for there to be more of? And what happens if it doesn't get funded? Also, why do this greenlighting and pilot episode stuff? I thought this wasn't TV. Why not just make this show? It doesn't need to sell. That shouldn't matter to them. In addition, I hate that they're turning Digital Circus into a brand. F off with your toy deals and Japanese cafes that spoil episodes. Again, that's not indie. You're making Nenadroids. With that said, this whole fund the show thing, yeah, I don't buy it. They're getting all these brand deals that are making at minimum $200,000 a year and at most $3 million. Surely they can fund it themselves. They don't have to spend extra on making it look good. It's YouTube. Quality doesn't matter too much, and I'm sure most people are just watching their shows for the story anyway. Every episode cost $200,000 to $300,000 based off this video, and since 2023, they've made 5 episodes per year, and going off their average yearly earnings, they have enough. It's supposed to be the opposite of normal companies, where they're not spending a shit ton on projects and being surprised when they flop, for God's sake. Glitch's first show, Meta Runner, was literally funded by the Australian government, too. They don't need your money. They could just do that again, like most movies do. It gets even worse with the Murder Drones graphic novel. Funding goal was $5,000, which is understandable. It's only a book, but they could have funded it themselves themselves. Is it really that much of a gamble to make? And if you need any proof, this Kickstarter of a book for a series that's, at minimum, half as popular compared to Digital Circus and ended a year ago made $1.7 million. Now imagine how much they're making off Digital Circus merch. They don't need funding. What are they going to do with 340 times more money than they needed? It's a book. It's certainly not going to these stretch goals. So, if you get $45,000 over the limit, you'll get a digital copy of the book if you already have the physical version. I don't get it. Why would you want two versions of the same book? The digital version is literally the cheapest here. If you want just that, you can get it. What's the purpose? The digital version doesn't even increase stretch goal milestones. Well, what about the other stretch goals? Well, there's a bumper sticker for $95,000 over the goal, and another one for $195,000 over the goal, and a bracelet for $345,000 extra. Aren't stretch goals supposed to be bonuses to be funded with extra money? In what dimension does a fucking bracelet included with a book cost $150,000? And if not, why would you reward your fans for paying a cumulative $350,000 for your graphic novel with 2 bumper stickers and a bracelet? That's just shitty. Also, there's no way all of that money is just going towards one graphic novel. That's a waste. All of this is such a shame because I think Glitch could have been so much better if they just stayed indie, started with the merch ads, and tried to help other indie creators. Like seriously, Netflix and Amazon streaming deals. I think a good service that this could have been put on is Dropout. Yeah, sure, I don't really like it because its reality focus is way too parasocial, but I'd say both have a focus on internet creators and an overlap in audiences. Plus, Dropout is actually indie, and they're trying to have animated content now, so it would have worked as a head start.
And if we're going to take the next big step as a company into scripted and animation, that's right, scripted and animation, we sure could use the additional support.
Now, as for the merch videos, I have a good example. Jack and Jellyfeet. They do so many plushies, but they never do videos for them, and there's no prattle about funding the show because they're doing just fine, like Glitch is. On top of this, it feels like they do merch for the fans. People consistently asking for specific character plushies at Q&As.
What BFBI plushie are you guys going to make next?
Oh, also, their plushies are actually accurate. The last thing I think Glitch could have done better on is actually helping internet creators. They could be the online version of A24 and distribute underground shows without too much involvement from them. And they'd be better because they wouldn't have approved of this. Sure, they're doing that now with Lackadaisy, but that was already a big thing, and Glitch is just giving them more to work on, so it's just gonna take longer to get it finished. Moving on to my second set of points, I really want to mention GlitchX. First of all, why is Senior Pillow here? Seriously, Spooky Month does not fit here. I don't know why, it just doesn't. It has like no frequent uploads, and it doesn't even have its own channel. Also, he still does other things. He's not solely focused on Spooky Month. Secondly, oh no. So, Goonerbait is here, and that's not really my problem with him. Except this, you can't do this. Now, it's that he does reactions for indie stuff, and I'm not sure if he gets permission for these, but then he uploads the full version onto his Patreon. The full version has more of the thing you're reacting to, and that's the version that costs money? I don't know, kinda sketchy. Also, he was in an Anime Insanity, another object show, and I don't think he's ever mentioned it. Getting into GlitchX 2024, it's incredibly different, and a showreel this time, but like, I don't see how this is really affecting anything. And this is more a problem with the fans, but I think it kinda sucks that these fans don't actually care about other indie productions, instead just watching Glitch for their own shows. But I think Glitch is somewhat at fault too, because they don't post about them, and I think it could help because most of what they showcased is not very popular.
The whole purpose of GlitchX to be that megaphone and that amplifier for all of these incredible shows. And ultimately, that at Glitch, that's what we want to do. We're doing all of this so the whole industry can get the support it needs, and at the end of the day, we get some really cool shows that we can all watch and share together.
Hey, editor's note here. I just want to mention that after a year, this didn't even work. All the series that had pilots released earlier already had a huge following, and all the ones that haven't released yet or did after didn't get any extra views, except this one. Glitch did nothing, and this kind of proves my point that Glitch is not trying hard enough to promote these, that they should have picked lesser known shows, and that Glitch's audience largely doesn't care about other indie projects. But, I don't know, I don't want to pull a whataboutism here, but there's all this talk about indie animation, yet I can't name one live action internet production that's not a sketch. Seriously though, I think more promotion of other series would be good. If you look at that panel from GlitchX 2023, it's literally only the popular creators. It just sucks because I've seen like actual art on YouTube from small animators, and it hurts to know that they'll never be able to grow because Digital Circus is just too popular. But it's really only a consequence of Glitch, not something they're actively causing, but still, they could try to circumvent it. Also, it's really annoying that object shows aren't accepted within this indie space. I've been watching them for 5 years, and most of them are just passion projects with very little merch done by younger people. BFDI literally has a book by Scholastic and has been around for 15 years, yet they still can't get a Wikipedia page. Digital Circus got one in like a month. BFDI had a US-wide screening of one of their episodes, and I heard no one talk about it. That's not even mentioning that Object Show fans are some of the most dedicated and passionate people and are very collaborative. BFDI literally felt unknown when I started watching it at 600k subscribers. Now they have 3 million and nothing has changed. Something else that really rubs me the wrong way is the complete disregard for Glitch's own series, MetaRunner and Sunset Paradise. It just feels like founders Luke and Kevin have just abandoned their creative sides for business stuff, and that just makes me sad. They used to do videos with Nathaniel Bandy, man. What happened?
Thanks.
It's not even Glitch Productions anymore, it's just Glitch.
It's not Al anymore. It's Duck.
It's still their company, and yet they barely mention their own creations. The only thing they did for MetaRunner and Glitch as a whole's 5th anniversary was promote Digital Circus blind boxes. Sure, since then they have kind of acknowledged it through Comic-Con exclusive posters. Imagine being a MetaRunner fan and having your only way of getting merch being only through Comic-Con exclusive crossover posters. Even worse, Sunset Paradise isn't on either of them. So they're not even on the store anymore. Also, on Glitch's FAQ, it says they only have 4 shows under their belt, and looking at this definition, this doesn't make any sense because Glitch has only finished 3. Like, yeah, they're making 4 right now, but that's not what that means. I could have just said Glitch has 7 shows regardless of completion, 6 if you don't count Lackadaisy because technically they didn't make that. But the fact it only says 4 on the FAQ and only has 4 shows on the store really makes it seem like Glitch is trying to erase their first 2 shows. Or Sunset Paradise, like, yeah, I get it, copyright. Like, sure, Maggie's clearly a legally distinct Inkling, but she's still not an Inkling. That's legal, right? I guess it's also that Maggie is an SMG4 character, but it's a different show, and it's on the Glitch channel. MetaRunner got 3 seasons, and the only reason they don't talk about it is because they recast the voice actor without her knowing and never hired her back. Whoops. And yeah, I guess another reason they don't talk about these 2 is because they ended. Murder Drones also ended, but they still acknowledge that. I wonder why. Murder Drones really destroyed all Glitch had going, and it's not at fault for that, but it caused so many shows to be cancelled due to the pivot from letting other people make shows, not just Luke and Kevin. But because of this, a MetaRunner spin-off, some show with a pink logo, and this thing I can't find proof of because Glitch just loves to enlist things, all got cancelled. Plus, MetaRunner got a comic book that might as well be lost media because you can't find it anywhere, except this video. Something else I want to touch on is the overuse of indie. So many Glitch videos have it used, and I don't even know what it means anymore because it's become a pointless buzzword. It's like woke, but instead of being overly negative, it's overly positive, and it's just annoying because Glitch doesn't apply to any possible meaning. They're not unaffiliated with other companies, they're not unknown, and we can't tell if they're low budget. It's even more annoying because there was already a term that fits Glitch and was way more general until it just metamorphosized into indie. That word is web animation. Seriously, what happened to this? It feels like the term only changed, so all these indie animation fans to keep forgetting about older examples, to keep acting like this indie craze is new, even though this has always been a thing. Also, that it's anywhere near the level of actual studios. Another thing I should mention is Glitch's other channel, SMG4. This used to be what they were known for. Now it's the opposite. This is some Ryan Trahan, Danny Gonzalez shit. Yeah, I don't like this. They make one video every week, and some of them are just slop, like fucking Mario reacts to Nintendo memes number 16. Oh, but there's lore. This is stupid Mario Gmod shitpost animation. Why is there lore? Also, they've made like 1,000 videos. Yeah, I'm right, this is slop. They've pretty much milked the shit out of it in the merch aspects too. They made the already over merchandise character Maggie, because she was the most popular original character at the time they started doing merch, and turned her into a cute character and put her in all the episodes. Thanks to this video by the blue guy, by the way. Actually, I didn't know about this until I saw his video. Oh, also, fuck this guy. This is Mr. Puzzles, a character voiced by Jello Apocalypse. Oh no. I hate this bitch because it's just the most cookie cutter Tumblr sexy bait money printer of a character, and they actually killed him off. Then they brought him back a month later because I guess either they ran out of ideas or
We've got to have money.
or also to stroke Jello's ego, you know, it could be any of them. And now they actually killed him off for real, a year and a half later, and 9 episodes before the series ends. Why did they like him so much to keep him around for basically until the series ends? Oh wait, I just mentioned it. Furthermore, they just completely removed SMG4 from the Glitch website and cut out the intro in older videos. It feels like I'm not supposed to know these are the same guys. It's like a skeleton in the closet, but like a funnier analogy for that. You know, a Tumblr bait character with an object for a head, a show ran by an internet company, and what started out as goofy internet meme videos and then turned into unnecessary fucking slop with lore. That sounds familiar. Oh my god. The last thing I want to touch on for the second section is how much Glitch has strayed from being a YouTube thing. Not only do they have merch that actual brands have, it's like as soon as they got a single full show on major streaming, they ran straight to Hollywood. Like, get out of Comic-Con. What happened to having a focus on YouTube first? It's still a YouTube thing. That's how they started, that's how they got big, and that's how they'll be known. What? Oh, did they think they're too big now? Come on. Why do YouTubers keep thinking their stuff can fit in with modern entertainment? It never works. Glitch belongs at VidCon, not Comic-Con. I bet they're missing out on so many connections with other YouTube creators. But it doesn't matter to Glitch because they're not on that level anymore. All those other guys, peasant tier. Oh, we're better because we do stuff on Netflix. Also, people are leaking shit too. Okay, now I'm finally going to be talking about some recent stuff. But first, I'm just going to lay out this. I stopped watching Glitch before Digital Circus Episode 2 came out because I got tired of hearing it. I don't know, man. When Digital Circus's pilot became Glitch's most popular video in 12 days, being out the almost 2-year-old Murder Drones pilot, it just didn't feel earned. But I don't know. I know it's just a me thing and kind of a nitpick, but I just wanted to mention it. Alright, so in January 2025, Glitch released the teaser for Knights of Guinevere. And at first glance, I just saw it was 2D animated and thought, oh, that's cool. The main thing that caught my eye was that Dana Terrace was creating it. I thought Glitch was supposed to be supporting internet creators. Dana Terrace is not an internet creator. Whatever, the trailer was released, and then everyone said Knights of Guinevere was going to be a critique on Disney, and damn, I hate how this revitalized the incredibly stupid, non-existent rivalry between Glitch and Disney that people wouldn't shut up about when the Digital Circus pilot released. Yeah guys, Disney deserved to fail. Did they? Also, before Knights of Guinevere came out, there was this controversy over ProZD, one of the voice actors, being a hypocrite because he voiced a character that didn't align with his race, after saying voice actors should stick to playing characters that align with their race 2 years before, and also taken out of context. This was so stupid because not only was it a nuanced thing, it was based on fucking nothing. I say this because the character he played was Korean, but like Dana Terrace responded to the controversy, but didn't say that he was playing a Korean character. Instead, she just said he didn't deserve it, and yeah, I agree, but she could have stopped it by revealing the entire thing was bullshit. Come on. Then, the week before the pilot came out, Glitch released an interview with Dana Terrace about the show, and wow, it really enlightened me on everything I wanted to know. First of all, Glitch reached out to Dana through Twitter DM, which means they don't accept pitches or anything. They just see someone's work and go, hey, can we make this with you? Which, again, very exclusive, but like, there's so many people who want to make shows online, and I feel like that support would help them a lot. Like this guy, for example, he kind of reminds me of the SNL audition guy, which is just pure ambition, and I hope it works out for him. Another thing I want to note is how throughout the interview, Dana is consistently talked about as someone who's made so many shows for so many companies across 10 years.
I worked for big mainstream studios for about 10 years.
Is making this show different to your other shows?
But like, she's only worked at Disney and only created one show, and then she's like, I have creative control. I don't have to worry about S&P departments.
I don't have an S&P department telling me to round off all the edges of my show.
She made one show, and going off just that, she immediately gave up on any larger productions, which I don't know how qualified that makes someone to have full control over a show. Furthermore, Knights of Guinevere was only made out of annoyance, which in my opinion isn't really a good reason to make a show, and respectfully makes the people who do that come off as spiteful. I'm not really going to talk about Knights of Guinevere itself, because as I've said, the shows are different from the company, which is the subject of the video. However, I did watch it with my friend when it came out, and we didn't like it. Now, this has nothing to do with why I didn't like it, but I want to point out that Glitch is ruining the show by association. Seriously, this whole show, like I said, is a critique of Disney, but all future Glitch production shows are going to be on Amazon Prime, and Amazon is a way worse company because they actually harm people, make their workers pee in bottles, and are discreetly anti-union. Oh, and you know how Disney Plus is letting users make AI garbage soon? Amazon thought of it first, and looky what I found. Ironic. This is like Fidel Castro sponsoring a diss track on Mussolini. Oh, but Disney canceled my show 2 years ago. They're worse. In addition, Glitch immediately released merch after the Knights of Guinevere pilot came out. You know, the show with an entire montage about how bad the merchandisation of IP is.
For a critique on greed, it seems ironic. Your show sold out like it's stock from shopmrbeast.com, bitch.
And to boot, Glitch is using the exact same scummy tactics that most big companies use for their merch. Some might say they need merch in order to fund the show, but like, they could have done a Kickstarter if they actually cared about the message, or not do anything because they definitely have enough money to fund it themselves. Do you think Dana's gonna make another show about how bad Glitch is when she's done there? I've made it to my last few points, and with that, I'd like to mention that I think Glitch is getting too ambitious. Seriously, like, you've got a lot on your plate, you're gonna eat all that? I don't know, it just doesn't seem sustainable. Like, 4 shows at once, they've got their big money maker that only has a year left, Digital Circus, Gaslight District, which I've heard nothing about, Knights of Guinevere, which hasn't even got a full season yet, also cost a lot if it does, and Lackadaisy, which might not even be on YouTube, and will probably also cost a lot. Not even mentioning how streaming revenue is a mess. Don't know, just wanted to bring that up. Additionally, Gaslight District took almost 2 years, so I don't think they can pull it off. And now, most recently, Glitch announced in a Glitch Direct that they would be supporting Lackadaisy as a full series. Yeah, it's not like an internet company hosting a number of large creators that ever gone wrong before. And then 2 days later, I found out that Monkey Wrench, which is run by Zerl, who is probably one of the best animators on YouTube, was rejected by Glitch 4 times before this was announced. And this was what pushed me to make this video. There is so much work being put into making it, and yet it falls on deaf ears because the only things YouTube will promote is what's popular. Glitch's success is inadvertently making it harder for other indie artists. Glitch knew Monkey Wrench needed support and still said no, but they gladly went along with Lackadaisy, a show that was already fully funded and was just taking long because it was more popular. Moreover, crew members of Lackadaisy were also featured in GlitchX 2023. I don't know, seems like nepotism to me. Also, they were already doing merch for it. Oh, and where did Glitch get all the money to give Lackadaisy a full season? I'd imagine all the merch sales were already used before the boost in production. They just keep accidentally proving my point that they don't need merch to make these shows. Monkey Wrench actually needed their help. They literally showcased it in GlitchX 2024. It got a full segment. It's kind of crazy how similar of a situation Monkey Wrench has to BFDI, where it feels like it's really well known, but no one acknowledges it. And while going off of popularity, being featured at GlitchX 2024 wasn't the best choice, they definitely needed it from a support angle. Still though, Glitch could have got people to send their promos to them. It's fairly obvious it was the opposite because one of the shows that was featured was literally created by someone who worked at Glitch. Yet, when the projects they're trying to promote need support, they look them in the face while still watching them die. They could have done something good for once, but no, they're just another company. They don't care to actually support others and promote them. At the very least, they don't do anything. They go all around saying how important indie animation is while pumping out merch, sporadic weekly streaks of videos, and having deals with companies that are only working with them so they don't have to deal with unions. And all of these only make it seem like they're doing them for money. Sure, all the money is going towards making the shows, but how much of it is really necessary? They don't care. Honestly, all of this just makes me want to watch Monkey Wrench even more just to spite them. So, with no remorse, I say this. Fuck you, Glitch. Thanks for watching this video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. One last thing I want to mention is that Glitch is probably going to be dying when Digital Circus ends. Come on, look at this disparity. Usually the Nittic one of your pilot's views don't even match Glitch's subscriber count. Also, SMG4 is ending soon. I feel like that's pretty telling too. Also, if you're going to subscribe to me, thank you. Just know that I probably won't make anything similar or follow up on this. I have a lot of videos I want to make, and I'm just trying to do a nice balance of variety for them. Don't believe me? My next video is going to be a damn rap battle. I'm just doing what I want. Oh, and I vow to watch Monkey Wrench after this is posted. I'll do it, I swear. Okay, bye.